Hey, I'm Jacob.
I'm Hayden.
And this is another episode of Fitness Tested. We'll be reviewing the top track and field spikes of 2025, and we'll be covering 4 different categories between distance, mid-distance, sprints, and field events.
Let's start with distance spikes. This is the Nike Dragonfly 2. This is the premier distance spike for 2025 for track. It comes in at 160. This Nike Dragonfly has its coveted Zoom Vic foam that's in all of its super shoes. It comes in P-Bax plastic plate. It's a great spike in general for a distance runner who wants to run anywhere from the 800, 1500 mile up, all the way up to the 10K. Instead of it having 6 spike holes, it only has 4 compared to the Nike Dragonfly 1. In my experience, the biggest difference between the Dragonfly 1 and the Dragonfly 2 is the comfort of the Dragonfly 2. I know a lot of people after wearing Dragonfly 1s, their arch would hurt, they would have blisters, their feet would hurt after they run it. The main thing that I noticed the difference in these shoes is they're a lot more comfortable.
Alright, next up we've got the Zoom Vic distance. This will be the baseline distance spike for Nike. And this is for people that are just getting started in track and field. And you'll want to use this from any distance from 1,600 meters up to 5K. That's about as far as you can go on those high school distances. And it's really going to do the job well. It's also going to have that 4 spike set up there at the bottom. And it's more going to lean towards that mid-foot strike. It's not going to encourage you to be on your toes because you wouldn't want to have that as a distance runner. And it'll be nice and lightweight, and will definitely do the trick for you for your upcoming track season. And next, we'll start with the mid-distance category. Right here, we've got the New Balance MD 500. This will be great for any distance between, I would say, 800 to 1,500 meters. You won't want to be taking it much further than a mile distance. After that, it would just be a bit flat and not enough cushion. You'd really feel the impact on your legs. So it works super well for that distance. Really lightweight, comfortable fit in the upper. Will definitely do the trick for you for the upcoming indoor, outdoor track season. Also, we've got the Saucony Velocity MP. This would be their mid-distance model. Both these are at the price of $75, so very reasonable for a track spike. And this will have some of the similar characteristics. It's gonna encourage you more to be mid-foot to forefoot landing. It's gonna have the 6 spikes set up as well. These will be a little more aggressive than the MD500, so I think this spike leans more towards the 800 than the mile. So if you wanted a spike that's better for mile distance, I'll go the MD500. If you're more prone to running the 800, we want to lean towards that distance. You want to go with the the Velocity MPs for Saucony. And these are super nice overall, and to be good just for that mid base level price for your mid-distance spikes.
Lastly, in the mid-distance lineup, I'm going to cover the Nike Air Zoom Vic. This is the, I would say, top tier mid-distance spike. Can also be used from the 400 all the way up to the mile, with its main event being the 800. It has a 4 spike plate, full length carbon plate throughout, and it has Zoom pods in the toe. These Zoom pods are also found on Alpha Flies. I would say they propel you and make you run on your toes, kind of bounce you off with the Zoom pods. This is a great 800 meter spike if you like to run on your toes, if you like to run really aggressive in your races. This comes in at a price point of $190, so definitely on the higher side, but if you wanted a top tier mid-distance spike, this is a great spike to look for. This is the Nike Air Zoom Vic.
So we were kind of having a debate on what events these 2 shoes be used for, because on any website, it's going to say that the Zoom Victory is rated for distances from 800 to 5,000 meters. He thinks this should only be going up to about a mile. So yeah, we'll kind of talk on that here a bit. It's why do you think it should only be used up to a mile compared to what it says out there?
So I would say this spike is very aggressive, and using this for a 2 mile or a 5K where you're running a little bit slower than a mile, I think you start to run on your heel, and these shoes are a lot less efficient when you do run on your heel. These shoes are run best when you're running on your toes and you're propelling forward. I would say if you are a runner that
Usually runs on your toes. Wants a shoe that keeps you on your toes. I would say use them for the mile, that's okay. But if you're a runner that runs a lot of 800s, runs a decent amount of miles and a ton of 4x4s, this is a great shoe for you because it can do anything from the 400 to the mile if you do like to be on your toes.
Yeah, and I feel like for me too, like when I go distances like above a mile in the victories, it just like doesn't feel like enough cushion there. So overall, both of us, like we lean towards more cushion with the Dragonfly 2s for any distance above a mile. It's not going to be quite as aggressive as a victory, but it's going to give you that luxury comfort of the Zoom X and just that consistent spring of the P-Bax base plate in the midsole. So overall, above a mile, on the safer side, you want to go with the Dragonfly. All right, and next we'll start with the sprints category. Right here, we've got the Saucony Spitfire. This will be the base level spike for Saucony. And as they move to the shorter distances with spikes, they're gonna add, the extra spike hole here. So from the Velocity MPs, they have the 6 spikes holes. This has 7 in it, for that added grip to the shorter distance. So you can really make sure to get every bit of each of your step as you can. And these are priced at $65, so very reasonable for someone who's just getting into track and wants to have a spike that will improve their performance.
This is the Nike Zoom Rival Sprint. Comes in at $75. This is the entry-level sprint spike for Nike. This is a great beginner sprint spike for anyone trying to get into sprints, trying to get into track. It has 6 spikes on the bottom, and compared to a distance spike to a mid-distance spike, it's going to be a bit heavier, but that's because of the more secure upper. It has to hold in your foot for how fast you're sprinting. But great, powerful sprint spike. That would be great for anyone trying to get into track and field.
All right, and next we've got the Superfly, the Nike Superfly Elites. This is the 2nd edition. And these are just insane lightweight. It's gonna have that Atom Knit upper of Nike, and they actually have this same upper in their Alphafly, their super shoes for longer distances. And it's gonna be a very secure fit around the foot. And one thing I'll say just from fitting people for these spikes is if you have a bigger foot, it's gonna be next to impossible to even get this shoe on. So if you want to get more of the elite level spike, but you have a bigger foot, I would lean towards you going from the shoe unless you really want to get a nice warm up in for your race. Cause yeah, it's a snug fit for sure. But super lightweight, as I said before, just with that Atom Knit upper and a very streamlined fit. It's gonna have an actual 8 spike setup here at the bottom. And as you can see, compared to some of the other spikes, it's a lot more bowed as it goes across the midsole, and that's to encourage just running on your toes as you're going through each stride as a sprinter. And this will be best gauged for that 100 meter, 200 meter distance. It works perfect for that. And here Hayden, he's got the Max Flies, the other elite level spike.
If you do have a bigger foot like Jacob was talking about, this shoe may be a little bit better for you. This is the Nike Max Fly. This is their premier sprinting spike. It has 6 spikes on the bottom, full length carbon plate. It has a zoom pods just like the Air Zoom Vics. It's gonna put you on your toes even more than the Air Zoom Vic. It's gonna have a more secure upper because you're moving a lot quicker when you're sprinting compared to when you're running longer distances. So that makes it just a tad bit heavier, but this is gonna be a great spike if you're a sprinter. In fact, probably the best one. I would look at trying on an Air Zoom Vic.
Max Fly.
I would look at trying on a Max Fly. Okay, now we're gonna be talking about throwing shoes. This is the Saucony Unleash SD3. This is a great entry-level throwing shoe for shot and disc.
All right, and we also have 2 throwing shoes with Nike. We've got the rotational. These will be a little more on the pricey side. And this is mainly gonna be for throwers that obviously they're gonna be rotating through their throw. So there's a big difference between the rotational and the Zoom SD. If you're rotating for your liftoff there, you'd want to go with rotational for sure. It would just have that smooth glide through your throw there. And then with the Zoom SD4, it can be applied towards numerous events between discus, shot put, and whatever throwing events you want to use. But it doesn't lean as much heavily towards if you're doing the rotational throw. And we pulled this one back from the archives. We got this dinosaur here. So this is an old Zoom long jump. We haven't quite got in the new long jump spikes. You would want to go with the newer model of the Zoom long jump or the Zoom high jump for those jumping events. And these will be just a lot better built for those type of events. Gonna have a very secure fit. This even has like a zipper through, so you can really make sure that your foot's not gonna be slipping through your liftoff and your landing. So yeah, we really don't know much about jumping shoes at all, but yeah, these would be the ones to go with.
Okay, we've talked about all the spikes on the table here. The last one we've got, this is the Nike Zoom Rival Multi. This is the Swiss Army knife of spikes. If you're a track athlete and you don't know exactly what event you want to do, or you love doing them all, this is a great spike for you. This can be used for distance, mid-distance sprints, throwing, jumps, etc. It's made for multis, so a decathlon, pentathlon, an event that has a bunch of different events in it. So this can be used for almost anything, everything on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the golden age of spikes. Right here, I have an old Victory 2. This was made a long time ago. It is super flimsy, super flexible. Jacob, what spike do you have in your hand there?
Got some old Matumbos here. You know, same thing. They're light as a feather, but nothing much to them at all.
So I would like to say we are in the golden age of spikes right now. This Nike Dragonfly is leaps and bounds better than this Victory 2.
This is a new Victory right here.
New Victory right here.
Look at this.
The difference between those is insane.
Dude.
So I would say cash in on this opportunity. You got great spikes that you can get your hands on and run fast in. Now's your time. I'm Hayden.
I'm Jacob.
And these are the best spikes of 2025. Oh, we're supposed to release them?
Should
okay.
we?
One more time.
I'm Hayden.
I'm Jacob.
And these are the best spikes of 2025.
Woo! We out.
That's good.
Bang.